Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 3 as well as Supergirl Season 2. So over the past day, we got a few cool pieces of intel drop about the back half of this season of The Flash. The first was a synopsis or description of episode 12 of this season, which we will go over in either tomorrow's video or in another video in the next week or so. And the other intel drop, which is going to be the point of discussion within this video, is on the topic of the Flash and Supergirl musical crossover. So this was announced a while ago, but came back into everyone's heads recently when they announced that Meister would be the villain. But some details that have now been revealed about the crossover may disappoint some people. Hopefully not a lot, but in a small way, yeah, it might. We got it revealed today that the musical crossover will kick off on March 20th on Supergirl. But like we saw with the Invasion crossover earlier on in the season, most of the crossover will be on the Flash the day after. So only a part towards the end of that Supergirl episode will be dedicated to the musical, and the rest will just be a normal Supergirl episode, as I said, like we saw with the crossover episodes earlier on in the season. The Flash episode of the crossover will be entitled Duet, which is a solid title. It's simple but effective, as some might say. So this is going to be episode 17 of the Flash Season 3, which would lead us to believe that the Supergirl episode will be their 16th, seeing they are an episode behind at the moment. Then again, Flash and Arrow may take a break for a week, which would allow Supergirl to catch up before the episodes hit our screens. In regards to only part of the Supergirl episode being dedicated to the musical crossover, I don't think it will be exactly like we saw with the Invasion crossover episodes. I'm confident it will be longer than that, hopefully the last 6 to 10 minutes. I can see it being annoying if you are not a Supergirl viewer and you having to watch a whole episode just for something short and in some cases anticlimactic at the end. But that's the whole point, I think. It's to get you watching something new, which you may find interesting or intriguing, and it may get you to stick with it, catch up, and become a regular viewer. Or they just want a 1 week ratings boost. One of the two. Now we get into the good stuff that was revealed, and that has to do with the characters that will be singing in the crossover episodes. One quick thing to point out, it was put down that the crossover would be including these performers. It didn't say these are the only singers that are going to be singing and no one else is going to be singing at all. Anyway, Grant Gustin, aka Barry Allen or The Flash, Melissa Benoist, aka Supergirl, Jesse L. Martin or Joe West, Victor Garber or Professor Martin Stein, Carlos Valdez or Cisco, Jeremy Jordan, otherwise known as Win, and John Barrowman, otherwise known as Malcolm Merlin or the Dark Archer. These are all the people that are put down as the singers within the crossover. Now, the reason I think these actors were the ones brought up as the headline singers, if you want to put it that way, is because they are all from a theatre background. The only one I'm a bit unsure of is Victor Garber or Martin Stein, as he is a very well-renowned actor. We know he can sing thanks to Legends of Tomorrow earlier this season, but I'm not 100% sure whether he started in theatre or not, like the other actors mentioned. It was also revealed that David Harewood, who plays Martian Manhunter, and Chris Wood, who plays Mon-El, will also be in the crossover, but they will not be singing. Some other characters on the shows of The Flash and Supergirl, such as Chyla Lee, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who plays Alex Danvers, Tom Cavanagh, who plays, multiple versions of Harrison Wells, and even Tom Felton, who plays Julian Albert. They all have decent singing voices, so they could also appear at points within the show, or the crossover episodes, might I say, and show their talents, but they haven't been mentioned. But as I said, it did say including. It didn't say it was just those people beforehand that I said were the only ones singing. It just said including. So it'd be weird if they didn't have Tom Cavanagh in there, because he's always singing on set. If you follow him on Instagram or his Twitter and stuff, he's always posting, videos and stuff about that. And a lot of those actors are just, Flash people. So you think they might chuck another Supergirl one in there to join Jeremy Jordan and Melissa Benoist as well. Obviously, you would have heard me say that both Victor Garber, who is Martin Stein, and John Barrowman, who is Malcolm Merlin, would be in the crossover. But wait, they're on Legends of Tomorrow. Now, I'm pretty sure Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 will have concluded, on air by the time this rolls around. I know in real life they've got 3 episodes left of filming, so they would be done filming when this crossover rolls around and it's time to fill that episode of it. I can see at least Flash and Arrow taking a break at some point for a week or two, with Legends of Tomorrow just going hard out until their season finale. What this means is that the characters of Martin Stein and Malcolm Merlyn won't be busy. They will be done doing their good and evil deeds throughout time respectively. It would have been weird if they did a musical episode on any of these shows without John Barrowman. If you don't understand why I said that, just, search up on YouTube John Barrowman singing or John Barrowman theatre and you will understand soon enough. Now, one thing that always gets brought up in the comment section of any video I do based around the musical crossover is why no Arrow actors are included in it. Now, I know Malcolm Merlyn or John Barrowman is in here, but he's technically a Legends character this season because, he's on Legends for most of it, so we're not going to count him in this. And really it just comes down to the fact that the majority of the Flash and Supergirl cast are musically talented, like they have theatre backgrounds as I mentioned before. While on Arrow, I can't think of one off the top of my head, apart from John Barrowman obviously. People have pointed out that Stephen Amell can sing. He can sort of sing. Like there's a difference between being able to, the level that like Grant Gustin and stuff are going to be able to pull off in this crossover, might I say, compared to what Stephen Amell would be randomly pulling up. One thing that would be funny though, is if like they had Oliver Queen walk into the room like he was just visiting Barry and they're just all there singing and he goes, "I'm out of here." Like that would be hilarious. Like I think I would lose my crap if that happened. But I think that's the most we would get to like Oliver Queen or Stephen Amell coming onto the musical crossover. Just be like a little cameo with him, visiting Barry's house or visiting Star Labs and they're just all there singing and he's like, "I'm out of here. I'm not putting up with this." And that's basically the main reason behind it. Just like it might not fit in that well. And also Arrow might be wanting to do its own thing. Seeing this is towards the end of the season, episode 17, only 6 episodes to go after this. And also it is hard to organize this crossover. Like that 3-night invasion crossover was apparently, it took like a month and a half, almost 2 months to film. So doing this would be a massive toll on the actors to do it again in one season. Now, another thing that has to be brought up is the Music Meister, as I said, was the villain that was announced a couple of weeks ago. They still haven't announced who's playing him. Obviously, the big one is Neil Patrick Harris, as he voiced him in the animated show Batman Brave and the Bold. I'm assuming this will get announced soon, like in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, just because they did finish filming episode 14 recently, so there's only, you would think maybe 3 or 4 weeks until they start filming this crossover. So yeah, I am expecting them to announce who's playing Music Meister in the next fortnight, so keep your eyes out for that. And obviously one thing that is always brought up in regards to this crossover is what songs will be in the crossover. Now, my mind has sort of changed about this just because it's been revealed that Supergirl's, episode will only be like 10 minutes involved in this crossover. So you think we might only get 1, maybe 2 songs within that episode. And then if you move over to the Flash episode, I can only see them doing maybe 3 or 4. So there's not going to be too many songs within this musical crossover. I think they said they do have 1 original piece, which has just been written for this crossover. But the rest would just be covers of pop songs and stuff like that. But let me know in the comment section below what song you would like to see in the crossover. Just leave 1. Don't leave a list of 10. Just leave 1 song that you want to see in the crossover. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, it'd be very much appreciated if you could leave a like on it. Let me know in the comments section below anything around this video. Obviously, what song would you like to see in the crossover? Who would you like to see play Music Meister? Obviously, Neil Patrick Harris, as I said, is the popular one. But what other actor would you like to see play him? And are you annoyed that there's not going to be any Arrow characters within the crossover? Do you think it'd be funny if they did that little Stephen Amell cameo where he walks in, sees everyone singing, just walks out? I think that would be hilarious, but it might be hard to organise, but let me know if you agree with it. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.